On November 29th, the Game Jolt Creator Program is officially going live, meaning you can make money with your content, whether you share videos, art, streams, or games. You're going to want to join the Game Jolt community for upcoming announcements and check out gamejolt.com/creators, which is the site on the screen right here, to learn more about being a Game Jolt creator. And if you want to get that link again, you can just type !creators in the chat or follow the link that Lorak just pasted. There you go.
Well done. You got it on the second take.
Well done.
Thank you.
Cool.
And
some of the pictures that popped up, those were neat. I saw Wally in there. Somebody did like a really, really cool Winston. That was me.
Yeah. There's lots of really cool stuff from our creators, but I'm honored to get to chat with both of you, SteelWool's creative director, Jason J. Top Topolsky, and SteelWool Studios design director, Brian Freyermuth. Jason, would you like to explain what you do at SteelWool and otherwise introduce yourself?
Well, I am Jason Topolsky. I'm one of the co-founders of the studio. I am also the creative director of the studio, and man, I was originally a AV nerd. Worked at Pixar Animation Studios for 14 years in production. Went over to Telltale Games for a couple of years. Worked on Tales from the Borderlands and Minecraft Story Mode, and that's where I met Brian.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Well, with that segue, Brian, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, you're on that side.
I'm Brian Freyermuth. I'm the design director over at SteelWool Studios. I've been in the industry for quite a while. I worked on the original Fallout way back in '97. I've worked on a bunch of different games since then. And then, worked at Telltale for about 6 years. Me and J-Top met on the Minecraft Story Mode DLC, as you can see from the white pumpkin poster I have up here. I don't know how many people actually got to play the DLC before Telltale went under, but that was from episode 6, one of our favorites. My job is basically to just kind of oversee all the design on all the SteelWool games and kind of oversee my department of designers who are all just kind of working on all the different things we're doing.
So we've been talking about the 80s, but is there another era in the FNAF world that you'd like to tackle in the future, like a 70s FNAF game or some other one?
Well, for me, one thing that I've always would love to do is get kind of back to, I have no clue if we'll ever be able to do this, but getting back to kind of like the origin of like Fazbear Entertainment or the origin of Freddy Fazbear. I love the teasers that we put out. Those are some of my favorite teasers I've seen. So it's all, it depends on what we can do going forward. But yeah, I would love to go back and kind of see how things were made.
Same here. I'd like to head further back into the 70s as opposed to like doing the 90s version, right? I mean, we've seen the 90s version. It's after the 80s was run down. Right? We've already done that. Scott did that. Like there's so much to explore.
Speaking of discovering hidden things, what's your favorite Easter egg that you hid in Security Breach?
I would say I have a favorite, but no one's found it yet.
Oh.
What is it, Brian?
Oh, I'm not going to say.
It's really dumb. My favorite Easter egg is a total unintended Easter egg because there's some stuff that we did not mean to leave in the game when it shipped, and people have pulled out like all the scratch dialogue. For example, they found all the audio files, which was me at my computer with my microphone doing scratch for temp and pitching my voice up as Gregory. That is all my like total garbage Gregory. or my Freddy voice.
You know, yep. Oh, the Freddy voice was great. Pitching that down, man.
Yeah. I love both of those answers. I love the bomb you dropped about the fact that there's still undiscovered Easter eggs.
There was another funny one too. We were just talking about it yesterday because it always cracks us up. We had this idea that we didn't follow through with when we were recording Chica, right? We're like, hey, how funny would it be if we did all of the Chica dialogue, but Valley Girl?
Ooh.
Right? So we recorded it. We're like, oh, what if we put in like there's like a selectable somewhere you can choose to play in 80s mode. And then that's the only thing that changes is like Chica's like all total valley, like you're right. And we recorded all that. That accidentally ended up in files too. So people have pulled that out and they're like, what's this other take of Chica?
Speaking of incorporating discarded pieces, the blob. The blob includes body parts from animatronics that otherwise aren't in Security Breach. How did you choose what animatronics to incorporate into this malicious mash of machine parts?
You know, Fazbear Entertainment disavows all knowledge of said blob. I don't know what to tell you there.
Yep, that'll be our answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's any other answer to that.
What could there be? A project? Like, don't have nightmares. Don't have nightmares about it, right? Think about it all the time, though. Like, I have notebooks that I keep near me, keep near the bed. You know, I have like these ideas creep in at night, and then it's like wake up and have some. Oh, what about this? What about this? I don't want to forget that, you know. So it's like nighttime ends up being very inspirational.
Yeah.
You know?
FNAF 24/7. Is there a specific type of gameplay that you'd personally like to introduce at some point, but just haven't found a spot for yet?
You know, some people found it in Help Wanted, and they pulled it out and they saw that we were playing around with a multiplayer mechanic, and they found it in Help Wanted. Stuart, our head engineer, he was working on this thing. It was such a great idea, but we weren't going to have time to like really complete it. And it was a really cool idea. Like, we'd love to get back to that at some point. That would be really neat. Like, we would be totally open to doing some multiplayer.
Speaking then of Help Wanted, though, what was the thought process behind choosing which scenes were iconic enough to include in the collection as mini games of their own?
It's funny because Help Wanted began as, hey, let's make the first game. Let's just make Five Nights. And then we did. And we were like, this is great. Oh my God. Like, what if we also did part 2? And what if we also added the part 3? And hey, Scott, could we do this for me? And what if we did some such a location? Or what if we threw this in? And what if we did this? And it just became this kind of ballooning, like, wouldn't it be cool if, right? And we got to pick like so many things that we thought would be fantastic in VR. You know, even just like plush trap at the end of the hall, right? Yeah. We played around with that, and we'd put people in the headset at work. And they say, set off immediately. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. It's like, perfect. That's what we want. More of that. No way I'm going to sit at the end of this hall. Like, good, we're doing it. You know, so it really came up. It really came up because we didn't want to stop. We didn't want to stop making them. Have somebody with the headset on and see them practically fall over. Right. You know, there's nothing like it. You know, even when, man, there was a group that we had in one time early, and we were doing like Chica repair. Somebody's like, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. And then the roaches came out. They're like, oh God, no. Right? It's so much more personal and frightening. And then as far as like our process goes, going from when we were in VR, we were in person, right? And then while we were working partway through Security Breach, we went remote. And then we have stayed remote. We are a remote studio. We've got people all over the country now. So not being in a room together, looking over each other's shoulders, you know, and that kind of collaboration, it's just very different. Yeah. We'll do meetings in person at times, you know, like especially when it comes to like story and concept work. We'll, you know,
creative kickoffs.
Yeah, creative kickoffs. Fortunately, Brian and I live like, you know, 20 minutes away from each other. So that's nice. We can like get together and do an escape room.
Yeah.
Which we did one a couple weekends ago. That was fantastic. But
that sounds really cool.
Yeah. You know, it really helps to have like the camaraderie and everybody in person, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of well-written horror, do you have anything that you'd like to tease about Ruin? since that's coming soon. Ish.
Well, I think the thing that I want to say about it, because we can't tease too much, because obviously that would it would tease too much. But for me, I think the big thing that we're trying to do is kind of lean into kind of the sense of dread more. That some of the, like the Endo warehouse, like the daycare, we're trying to lean a little bit more into that in the experience that we're making for the DLC, which has been really kind of cool to kind of go in that direction.
Yeah.
In the teaser poster that we released, it's why it is so much darker and so much more like ruined. Get it, ruined. Yep, it's just kind of a cool direction that we're really happy about going down.
It was really nice to see the response to the poster.
Is there anything else you want to tease about what we can expect from FNAF coming up, or is the Ruin tease about all that is good to tease right now?
We have other stuff coming down the pipe, but we can't really say anything about that.
Yeah.
Nope. The big focus right now is Ruin, though. I mean, that is the big focus is getting that DLC out, getting it good. That's just the main focus right now. But yeah, there are definitely other stuff coming down the pipe.